Robert Mugabe's family will bury him in a private funeral service after that state funeral. The former Zimbabwean president's body is lying in state today in Harare to allow mourners to pay their final respects. A media briefing will be held at Mugabe's residence to clarify final preparations. Mkelo Maseko and Vuyo Mvoko are in Zimbabwe tracking the story for us. Vuyo, let's speak to you first. Of course, former President Thabo Mbeki landing in Zimbabwe a short while ago. You managed to speak to him.
Yes, indeed, Shahan. Former President Thabo Mbeki, as well as former Namibian President Sam Nujoma, are among the first statesmen to arrive here. We quickly got to speak to him as he had just signed the book of condolences. And the first question to him was, of course, what Robert Mugabe meant to him. And very briefly, this is what he had to say about the man and his role in both developing the caliber of cadres and statesmen that Africa was trying to craft at the time, but also the role that he played in continental politics as well.
Many people around the continent and elsewhere in the world are coming to say this final farewell to President Mugabe, because indeed that's the stature he enjoyed on the continent and globally. So that's why we are here to say condolences and to the family, to the people of Zimbabwe, to the government, and as I say, a final farewell to somebody who was a very important player in terms of the remaking of the continent.
Mkelo, let's bring you into the conversation. Of course, there's been lots of confusion around the burial of Robert Mugabe. You've been speaking to the family spokesperson.
Yes, indeed, Sean. We've been speaking to Leo Mugabe, the family spokesperson, who says that on tomorrow there will be an official state funeral, which is more likely like a memorial that will take place, because former President Mbeki won't be buried then. Former heads of state and sitting heads of state, 11 of them will be making their way here to Zimbabwe, including our own President Cyril Ramaphosa from South Africa, who's coming in to the country tomorrow. Former President Mbeki has already arrived. Former President Jacob Zuma will also be making his way here, alongside President Uhuru Kenyatta of Kenya and other African presidents who are currently sitting in office will be making their way. We also do know that former President of Zambia, Kenneth Kaunda, will be making his way, but they were coming to a confusion on when their former comrade, the former President Robert Mugabe, will be laid to rest. Leo Mugabe saying that on Sunday at National Heroes Acre there will be a 21-gun salute program that is a government program that will take place, but the remains of former President Mugabe will then be taken away from Heroes Acre on Sunday and be buried on a later date on the National Heroes Acre, which he set up, the national shrine, whilst he was still the incumbent president of the country. But there is still no clear indication on when he will be buried. The only date we have is that, or venue, is that he will be buried at the National Heroes Acre, but no date as yet.
The president normally runs that function that happens on Sunday. He doesn't take anybody into a grave. It's just witnesses in most cases. So basically he will still do his normal functions at the Heroes Acre.
But will not witness the coffin going into the ground this time around?
Because it will not happen on Sunday. To happen at a private function. Whether he will be invited or not, I'm not sure. I don't know, because the family will then decide.
And Vuyo, back to you, of course, asking the former president of South Africa, Thabo Mbeki, when he last saw Robert Mugabe.
Yes, indeed. In fact, it was within the context of, Thabo Mbeki is one of the continent's leaders that have perhaps interacted with former President Robert Mugabe the most. And I asked him, when was the last time he actually spoke to him, and whether there was any outstanding moment in the various conversations that he ever had with the former Zimbabwean president. And here's a bit of what President Thabo Mbeki had to say in answering that particular question.
The last time I saw President Mugabe was in around July, August 2017, and I came here with Sidney Mfamadi because we had come to discuss a matter that I'd been raising with him for some time, which is a matter of his retirement. And we'd agreed about that. So I'm saying that there would be too many moments of this kind. But we could come, and I said to him, President, I need to see you because it's a matter that we've been discussing for some time. We should discuss again. And as I say, he came and he received us in the way that he always did. And really, we really do value very much his leadership and the support that he gave to us.
All right, we're going to leave that right there. Thanks for that, guys. Appreciate it. Vuyo Mvoko and Samkelo Maseko in Zimbabwe.